Welcome everyone to week one. We're going to be using Microsoft Excel quite a bit in this course. Probably every week you're going to use it, and you're going to learn to appreciate this product greatly because the calculations that we have to do in statistics can be very, very tedious if you're doing them by hand and simply using a calculator. So each week we're going to learn some new features of Excel. Now, right now I just want to kind of get you up to speed on how to do a few simple things in case you've never used this product. Once you open Excel, you're going to be confronted with a blank spreadsheet or worksheet, they're typically called by Microsoft. And the worksheet is just divided into rows and columns. The columns are labeled with letters, the rows are numbered, and we refer to the cells by cell name. Notice up here in the upper left hand corner under the menu, you'll see A1 listed, and the reason for that is I have the cursor actually selecting A1 at this point. Now if I move the cursor, notice that's going to change. I select another one, so at any time you know where the cursor is located because there's a record of it up there. Alright, I'm just going to very quickly stick some numbers in here. So on A1 I'm going to put the number 23, in A2 I'm going to put the number 25, and then I'm going to show you how to do something kind of slick. If you select these two numbers, these two cells, and then click on this little box in the lower right hand corner and hold your cursor down and drag, look what happens. The pattern that I had established was odd numbers differing by 2, 23 to 25, and when I drag down the column, Excel thinks that I want to continue that pattern. So it just propagates, it fills in, that column. Sometimes you just want consecutive numbers, like starting with 1, and so you can just type in 1 and 2, and then select and drag that box down, and it's going to fill it in with all the numbers in sequence. Okay, now what I have selected right now is highlighted, so I'm going to press the delete key on my keypad and it goes away. What we are going to use Excel for almost exclusively in this course is to help us calculate some statistical functions. So you're going to learn a lot about formulas. I'm going to click on formulas on the menu bar, and then I'm going to move my cursor down to more functions, and I'm going to select statistical. These are the functions that you're going to become familiar with. There are a lot of them here. We're not going to use very many of these actually, but all of them are functions that are used by statisticians. Let's suppose I want to find the average of those numbers that I populated there. I would just move my cursor over and select average, and then a dialog box is going to open. And right now it populated the numbers box with the location of the cursor, you'll notice. But what I'm going to do is change that because I want the average of the cells A1 through A25. So I'll just drag, select, and then A1 through A25, A1 colon A25 shows up in the function arguments box. So if I click OK, actually, I wonder if I can relocate this. I'm going to put my cursor over there. Click OK, and no, it didn't work. Okay, forget that. Let's try it again here. I want my cursor actually over here. I want the answer to show up there. So one more time, we'll do formulas, more functions, statistical, average, and I'm going to select again A1 through A25. Okay, and then I'll click OK, and the average appears in cell D6 where I have the cursor sitting. Alright, and I'm going to label that. I'm going to move to C6 and type in the word mean. In statistics, the average is always called the mean. Another calculation that you're going to be doing very quickly here is standard deviation. And you are going to, in your reading, discover what we mean by standard deviation. It's a very important calculation in statistics, and we have a function to do that. So once again, I want the answer to appear in D7, so I'm going to click on Formulas, More Functions, Statistical, And these are alphabetical, so I'm going to come on down here to where I think standard deviation might be located. And notice there actually are 4 of them here. The one I'm going to use is stdev.s, which means that what I have here is a little sample of data. I've got 25 numbers, and I want to know what the standard deviation of those 25 numbers is. So A1 through A25 again, and click OK. Now, I'm getting a number with a lot of decimal places, and one thing I want to caution you about in this course is you're going to be tempted to round numbers as you proceed with sequential calculations. Do not do that. If you are using Excel or if you are using your hand calculators, do not round any numbers until you get to the very, very final answer. Because each time you round a number, you're introducing an error. A small error, but nevertheless, it is an error, and they compound themselves if you round at every step. All right, now I don't really want that many decimal places to display, so I'm going to click on that cell and come up here and click on Home. And about in the middle of this drop-down box, I find some formatting things that I can do with numbers. What I want to do here is decrease the number of decimal places. So I'm just going to keep clicking on this, and notice that it's rounding every time correctly also. Okay, so I have it now just displaying as 2 decimal places, 14.72. Okay, those are just a couple of the things that you can do with functions, and you're going to learn about a lot more of them as we proceed. Okay, have a good week 1. Complete all of your reading and all of the other tasks that are assigned.